What do you feel is the major difference between the judo in Japan and the judo in the Western world?
Well, I think Japan still places a great deal of credibility in the process of how you win, not necessarily winning at any cost. Everybody likes to win. But it's the way you win that becomes important. The stress on an ippon, a clean throw. As you've seen international competition, it's not always that easy.
No.
And especially with two people who are evenly matched. It's very, very difficult to do that. But that is what you measure your standard against.
Why does it have to be an ippon?
It doesn't have to be an ippon.
Oh.
But that is the ideal that you strive for. If you strive for a half point, you wind up with a quarter point.
Right.
Because there's an opponent over there who's trying to do the same thing to you, right?
Right.
So the idea is you strive for the ippon because that demonstrates a purity of commitment. Winning and losing is not the objective. What is the objective is to achieving a state of harmony of heart and mind and spirit, so that you demonstrate that through a clean ippon.
Strengthening the body and spirit, and developing technique by striving for the best. That's what Kano Jigoro's judo was all about, and still is. But that isn't to say that Kano had no interest in winning. He made up for his slight physique by taking control of his opponent's force, incorporating the philosophy that has become the trademark of judo. Softness overcomes hardness. Is that true? Can softness really overcome hardness? To find out how this works, Nicholas visited Emi Yamagishi. At 149 centimeters and 48 kilograms, she's petite, but she has a big profile in judo, currently ranking 3rd in the world in her weight class.
Hi, nice to meet you. My name is Nicholas Pettis.
Nice to meet you too.
What's your name?
My name is Emi Yamagishi.
Nice to meet you. I understand you're not very big compared to all the other people. As you can see, I'm about twice as big as you. Do you feel any disadvantage of being so small in the judo world?
Tall people have long limbs, so there are times when I can't grab hold of them, even if I extend my arms.
If you had to face someone, for example, like another girl that's both bigger than you and heavier than you, how would you feel about that?
As long as you can make an opponent lose their balance and apply a technique at the right moment, it's possible to throw anyone, no matter how big they may be. I don't need strength to execute the throw.
Three factors allow softness to overcome hardness: kusushi, tsukuri, and kake. Kusushi is breaking the opponent's balance. Tsukuri is positioning for the throw. And kake is executing the throw. Three individual elements, but they occur almost simultaneously. Yamagishi says strength isn't all that's important. But can she believe it when her opponent towers over her? We had her face someone who's 23 centimeters taller and 30 kilograms heavier.
That was a really clean throw. Can you please explain to me exactly what you just did?
I used footwork to make her lose her balance. And then, when she lunged forward, I pulled back to create enough space for me to throw her.
Could you please do that again? I'd like to see it from the side. Wow. She landed right on her back. Why do you push her before pulling her?
When you push someone, they'll automatically push back. This gives you a chance to use that person's strength to execute the throw.
So, by pushing her back, she wants to lean forward. And then what happens?
She leans forward.
And you use that to pull her in.
Right. I use her strength and my own.
I noticed you had your leg in there too.
Yes.
Is that because you're small?
I created space and got under her. Then I use my knees as springs to apply the throw.
By pushing, Yamagishi forced her opponent to shift the center of gravity forward to maintain balance. Yamagishi then pulled in the same direction, making use of her opponent's force to execute the throw. The timing is critical. She pulled her opponent's sleeves to break her balance and created a space between the arms and chest. Once that was accomplished, she slipped herself right into position for the throw and stretched her knees to finish it up.
You know, what I would really like to find out is if someone as small as you could actually throw someone as big as me. If it's not too much to ask, would you mind?
My pleasure.
Thanks. I haven't lost yet, right? That was like a wazari or something. One more time, please. She's amazing. Like, really, I was trying to get in there, you know, but she was using her elbows and hands to just keep me from getting into a good position. I'll tell you, she was so small, but she really never gave up and she never loosened her hold on me. I'll tell you what, she's strong. Really.
It's not the power, it's the technique, but it's also power and stamina, and also mental power, because she's fighting someone who's that much bigger than her. So it's not just about fighting another girl. It's also fighting against everyone watching behind the cameras with the light, you know, the pressure on everything. Plus, she's fighting a huge guy compared to her. I'm like twice her size, but she didn't waver. Her heart and her mind, like an arrow. Unbelievable.
Twice the size, but no problem. It's obvious she's not relying on strength to throw Nicholas around. Nicholas, on the other hand, is pulling his opponent's arm using his strength, so he steps back on the rebound. He wouldn't be able to throw a much larger opponent with that approach. Watch how Yamagishi does it. She remains more or less in the same position after the throw. She makes use of her opponent's force, so there's no rebound. Biomechanics back up her approach. Softness really can overcome hardness.